Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Hey there, Shadow Frequency listeners. This is Juniper, your producer, welcoming you to another eerie installment of the Shadow Frequency with your host, Matt Wilson. Today, we're going to dive into the murky waters of the Montauk Project, a mind-bending tale of alleged time travel experiments, secret government programs, and strange happenings on Long Island. Was it a real attempt to bend time, or just a wild conspiracy born from the shadows? Matt's got the details, so buckle up and let's tune into the frequency of the unknown. Over to Matt in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Shadow Frequency. I'm your host, Matt Wilson, and this time we're stepping into one of the wildest corners of the paranormal lore, the Montauk Project. If you've heard of the Philadelphia experiment, where a Navy ship supposedly vanished into thin air in 1943, think of this as its even crazier sequel. Buckle up, because this one's got time travel, mind control, and a mysterious Air Force base that might just be a portal to somewhere else. So what's the Montauk Project? The story kicks off at Camp Hero, an old military base on the tip of Long Island, New York. Built in World War II, it was decommissioned by the 1980s, or so they say. According to legend, something much stranger was happening there after the war. The tale comes largely from a guy named Preston Nichols, who claims he worked on the project and later wrote a book about it in 1992 called The Montauk Project: Experiments in Time. Nichols says that in the 70s and 80s, secret experiments were conducted at Camp Hero, funded by black-budget government cash, experiments that make sci-fi movies look tame. The big claim? Time travel. Nichols says scientists at Montauk cracked the code using something called the Montauk chair, a device hooked up to psychic test subjects who could amplify their mental energy through advanced tech. Supposedly, this chair was powered by a massive radar dish at the base, which could punch holes in the fabric of time itself. One of the key players was a kid named Duncan Cameron, who allegedly sat in the chair and opened a time vortex on August 12, 1983. The date sound familiar? Some say it links back to the Philadelphia experiment exactly 40 years earlier, like a cosmic anniversary. But it gets weirder. Nichols and others claim the Montauk Project wasn't just about time travel. It was about mind control, teleportation, and even contact with extraterrestrials. They say kids were kidnapped and brainwashed, turned into psychic soldiers. There's talk of a Montauk monster, a creature that escaped through one of these time rips. And then there's Al Blalock, another supposed insider, who says he traveled from 1943 to 1983 via Montauk Tech and lived to tell the tale. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a blockbuster script, not reality. And yeah, the evidence is shaky, mostly first-hand accounts, some grainy photos, and a lot of speculation. The government denies it all, calling Camp Hero just an old radar station. But here's the kicker. The base is real. You can visit it today. And that giant radar dish? Still standing. Locals report strange vibes, unexplained noises, and even sightings of shadowy figures. Is it just a creepy old place or something more? Let's chew on that for a bit. We'll be right back after a quick break with Juniper.
Whoa, listeners, how wild is this Montauk Project stuff? Time travel chairs, psychic kids, and monsters slipping through portals? Matt's got us wondering if Long Island's hiding more than just beaches and traffic. What do you think, government cover-up or pure fiction? Stick around, because after the break, Matt's diving into the aftermath, the whistleblowers, and what's left at Camp Hero today. While you're listening, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and catch us on all the podcast directories. Want more spooky content? Join our Patreon at patreon.com/shadowfrequency. If you'd like to advertise with us or suggest an episode, you can hit us up there or email shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. And it is time now for a little segment we like to call the mailbag. So I've got to hit this button.
It's time for the Shadow Frequency mailbag.
All right, here's our first email for this episode. It says, "Hey, Matt and Juniper, I've been hooked on the Shadow Frequency since I stumbled across your Loveland Frogman episode. That creepy little humanoid frog hopping around Ohio, I couldn't stop thinking about it for days. You guys have a knack for making these wild stories feel so real. I'm obsessed. Keep the paranormal goodness coming. Sam from Cincinnati." Thank you, Sam. And email number 2 here says, "Hi, team. Your Roswell crash episode blew my mind. Seriously, the way Matt broke down the witnesses in that eerie debris description gave me chills. I've listened to a ton of paranormal podcasts, but the Shadow Frequency is hands down my favorite. Juniper, your energy is the best too. Well, thank you. More alien stuff, please." Oh, I agree. Lila from Austin. I agree, Lila. More alien stuff. Well, let's get back to Matt and more of the Montauk Project in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency. I'm Matt Wilson, and we're deep into the Montauk Project, where time travel, mind control, and government secrets collide. Before the break, we talked about the Montauk chair, psychic experiments, and that alleged time vortex in 1983. Now let's pick up the thread. What happened next, and why does this story still haunt us? So August 12, 1983, the big day, according to Preston Nichols, that's when the Montauk Project hit its peak. Duncan Cameron, the psychic in the chair, supposedly opened a stable tunnel through time, connecting 1943 to 1983. Al Balick claims he and Duncan even walked through it, meeting scientists on the other side before shutting it down. Why shut it down? Nichols says the experiments got out of hand. Time rips were letting in creatures, objects were vanishing, and the base was becoming unstable. They pulled the plug, abandoned the project, and left Camp Hero to rot. But here's where it gets messy. After the supposed shutdown, whistleblowers like Nichols and Balick started talking. They claimed that the tech was buried, literally and figuratively, but the effects lingered. Locals reported weird stuff. Electromagnetic interference messing with their TVs, animals acting strange, even time slips where hours vanished. Some say the Montauk Monster washed up on a beach in 2008, a mangled creature that conspiracy buffs tie back to those experiments. Skeptics say it's just a dead raccoon, but the photos? Creepy as hell. Today, Camp Hero is a state park, open to the public. That radar dish looms over the woods, rusting but intact. Visitors say it feels off, like the air is too heavy. There are sealed bunkers you can't enter, and signs warning you to stay on the trails. Paranoid types swear the government's still watching, that underground labs are humming beneath the surface. No hard proof, of course, just stories, vibes, and a few blurry snapshots. So what's the truth? Was Montauk a real time travel hub or just a Cold War relic wrapped in an urban legend? The science is dubious, time travel's a stretch even for today's tech, and the mind control claims echo MK Ultra conspiracies without solid docs. But the persistence of the tale, the first-hand accounts, and that eerie base keep it alive. Maybe it's not about proof, maybe it's about what we want to believe about the shadows of power. That's all for this one, folks. Juniper's got the sign-off. Stay curious, and I'll catch you on the next frequency.
And that's a wrap on this trip through the Montauk Project, listeners. Thanks for tuning in to The Shadow Frequency with Matt Wilson. I'm Juniper, your producer, signing off. Did this one bend your sense of time a little? We'll be back soon with more paranormal mysteries to keep you up at night. Until then, stay spooky and keep those eyes peeled for the unknown. Catch you on the next wave.